Hey guys, we're back with the Xeno Nest podcast. If you guys haven't watched the last episode where we covered the last DLC for Xenoverse 2, then please by all means go check that out. But if you haven't already, this is the Xeno Nest podcast where we talk about upcoming Xenoverse news specifically, but who knows, might be more in the future, but we'll see. For now, we got some more news on Xenoverse 3, we got some gameplay showcases that reveal some stuff. There was a live stream yesterday, or not even yesterday, there was a live stream the other day showing off a couple of the stuff that's going to be coming. But without all else being said, please like, comment, do all the fun stuff, and let's hop right into it. Jack, take us off.
Alright, I'm your co-host as always, Jack. Today we'll be talking about the Xenoverse 3 gameplay trailers. We got a trailer, live stream I think it was an hour after, and then we got a demo the day later. So first off, let's talk about the gameplay trailer, what they released first. I think it was in Europe, but whatever, location doesn't matter. They went over a lot of the game mechanics. They pretty much explained exactly how to play the game, how it's going to be looking. It was 6 minutes of uninterrupted footage on explaining what every button does. Well, not what every button does, but pretty much almost all the new stuff. The key break, the soul assist, soul change, they showed off a lot of it. And then the live stream that was right after, it was pretty much the demo, but an extended version where the developers got to play, showcase all the things that they talked about in the gameplay trailer. And the live stream started with the trailer to the game, and then the 6-minute gameplay trailer that we saw earlier that day as well. And then they just kind of expanded on it while them playing the game, talking a little bit more about it while inside of it. What are your thoughts on the live stream, by the way? Because it was an hour. It was an hour and 30 minutes. I thought it was only going to be like an hour, and it ended up being a pretty long live stream.
Well, I mean, most of the stuff that they were saying in the stream was stuff we already knew or had been confirmed at the time. They were the most that I remember them confirming for us was just like, yes, customization will be a huge thing. I don't know why people were saying there wasn't going to be. It's a Xenoverse game for Christ's sake. But
yeah, they could change a lot about the game, but that's the selling point, guys. Like, come on.
People are gonna say this isn't Xenoverse, when by all means it's customization. You're creating your own character. It's still by all extensions of any right. That's the core function of Xenoverse, or one of at the very least, if you want to say that. But customization is gonna be there. Some of the game mechanics are different. Like, you can still perfect block. We know how some of the mechanics work, and obviously we'll get into the big one later when it comes to time transformations. But as far as everything else goes, mostly the same. I didn't have too many thoughts outside of, the big one that came out of that. And obviously they showed off yesterday at the demo Super Saiyan 3 for John. Looks amazing, by the way, in game. I really like the animation of the hair glowing.
It's reminiscent of Daima Super Saiyan Vegeta, and I really like that because I thought that transformation was very cool.
I saw some people say that they wish they could customize it, or wish it had different look than just Goku's. I could see it. I think if you want to make your Super Saiyan 3 look more like Vegeta's and Daima, then I think that's a valid reason. But I think for the most part, they're probably just going to stick with Goku's for the simple fact that then they'd have to customize a Super Saiyan 3 look for all the CACs.
Everybody. And they're already doing that for Super Saiyan 1 and presumably 2. So it just makes sense for them to not, save some time for that.
Right. And also, obviously, not even talking about what other transformations they might do. But they didn't even show off Super Saiyan 2. I think it's still going to be in the game. I have a feeling that they just didn't include it in this build because, obviously it's not that much different than 1 anyways. So as long as you get 1 and then 3 was a very good showing, so I'm fine with it. I'm assuming it's just going to be in the game anyway because Super Saiyan 2 was in Xenoverse 2, and I feel like not including it.
Yeah, I mean, we got the silhouette we talked about was that we have Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 are confirmed based off just the silhouettes we saw in the transformation thing, but it does look like, at least from the demo, that only 2 at a time are going to be available for use. Which I want 3, but if it's only 2, it's only 2. As long as it's not just 1, I'm okay with that.
I was going to say, because the only time you could have 3 transformations in 1 was Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. The rest of the ones were either 2 transformations or you transform once and you're done. So, like, Super Vegeta, you got Super Vegeta 1, Super Vegeta 2. Obviously, Potential Unleashed is a once-only transformation. Beast, once-only transformation. God, once-only. Blue, once-only, and then so on and so forth. So, we'll see. I would love if they let you choose 2 of any kind and have that be the stuff.
Yeah, we talked about that for a little bit, but I think customizable. It's really unfortunate that that none of the other CATs are gonna get this. I mean, we're just talking about Saiyans here.
Well, yeah, because that's what they showed. I don't think nothing's wrong with that, but I mean, the rest of the.
No, I mean, like Namekians. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to go to orange first and then like yellow.
Well, no,
right?
They're probably gonna have like Potential Unleashed and then orange maybe and then giant as well if they want to do that.
If they allow that kind of stuff, because that's not even like, because we're talking about going from Super Saiyan to God to blue, right? Like that kind of thing, which I would really like to see. I think that's a sparking situation where at least the super characters can go from God to, or not God, but Super Saiyan to God to blue. Would be really cool. I want to see something like 1, 2 to maybe Potential Unleash, if they even want to do something like that, which I'm not sure that they would, but if they did, I think that'd be cool. We talked about how we see it's Vegeta's transformation to go Super Saiyan, but it's Goku's pose. Maybe we'll get some sort of customizable transformations or even lines of customization. I feel like we talked about that for a little bit. What are your thoughts on like getting, because we got in Xenoverse 2 and 1 Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, Future Super Saiyan. What would be your thoughts on getting like a line like that for different, let's say we get Friendship for Gohan or something, and we get the ability to go Super Saiyan, and then 2, then Potential Unleash, or Ultimate rather, and then Beast, and then for Goku being Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, Vegeta being 1, 2, stuff like that. What were your thoughts on that?
I think that would be a good idea, have... And they could just do something very simple where it's just, okay, Super Saiyan parentheses Goku. So you'll have Goku's transformation animations for Super Saiyan, maybe God, Super Saiyan 3 respectively. And then same goes for Vegeta. Like if you want Vegeta's version of when he goes Super Saiyan as the animation instead, you'll pick that version. The more customization there is, the better. I think no one can really disagree with that point. So I think as long as they do go down, I think best case scenario for me, what I would do, allow anyone to pick 2 transformations of any kind. And have like, okay, because it's clear and what they're doing is going to be like a gradual progression. There's going to be stage 1 transformations and then stage 2 transformations. So what they could do is, okay, everyone's going to be rocking Super Saiyan as like your stage 1 transformation. But then for your stage 2 transformation, you could do Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan God, Blue, Beast, so on and so forth.
I agree. I think that kind of like tiered transformation would actually be a really good idea. So like, let's say different transformations have tier 1 and tier 2. So like something like Kaioken would be a tier 1 transformation. And then tier 2, I guess you could sub for Super Saiyan, but you could opt for a more powerful transformation, like say Ultimate. And what they could do is like a tier 1 transformation has a set timer where you have to wait this amount of time, collect this much energy, as opposed to like a tier 2 transformation would cost like double the energy or double the time, something like that. I think that exploring something like that would be pretty interesting.
They could very easily like give benefits to having your transformation take longer to perform. Instead, because like if you want like to have like, oh, you want to transform into Ultimate right away, sure, you can do that. You can transform into Ultimate right away and still get good buffs, but maybe they're not as good buffs as if you were to wait for the stage 2 of Ultimate.
Yeah, like if you equip to the stage 1, it's still really strong, but if you equip into the stage 2 section, it'd be even stronger.
And maybe it doesn't even have to be something crazy, because maybe people wouldn't vibe with that. Maybe they just want to immediately transform into the strongest form, which is a reasonable take. So then have the buff be something not as huge if it's a stage 2 transformation. Like, for example,
5% increase.
5% increase to your stats if it's a stage 2 transformation, exactly.
I think something like that would be interesting.
Maybe in exchange for not having a stage 2, the cooldown is longer. Which now I guess we'll get into that. What are we thinking about officially recognized cooldowns? Like there's a timer right next to it instead of how it is in the previous games.
I called it. I knew it was going to be a timer just off of Soul Change having a timer, and I knew the second that it had some sort of health shenanigans that it was going to be a timer, because anything that gives you a ridiculous amount of health, you can't balance that and not give that shit a timer. I don't want to see nobody going in the game transforming, fully recovering their HP, by the way, because it's a full HP recovery regardless of what HP you have, and then just de-transforming after they take some damage and then transforming again to get the full HP. But like no, that's not something that they're gonna do. And it's poor mechanic, poor game building, I should just say. So I think to keep everything streamlined, and again, this game itself is probably going to focus a lot on making the experience enjoyable for everybody, not just Saiyans. So I feel like it was something that kind of just was in their radar, and they were like, okay, well, if we're going to do this for these other characters, it makes sense that we should experiment at least with this kind of idea, because again, cannot stress this enough, was a demo. Everything is subject to change. This isn't the final build. Everything could change. They could tomorrow be like, okay, well, maybe we don't do transformations with timers. It's all subject to change. They're just playing with it because, this is going to be a huge game with a lot of things to do, a lot of events to do, all this stuff. And balancing is one of the things that a lot of online service games struggle with, and they just want to get it right the first time. I really don't blame them for trying. So
we'll have to see, because when it comes to PvP, there's they're intending it as a comeback mechanic, but when you think about how it works, it's like, all right, I beat this guy down, and then he transformed into Super Saiyan, recovers all of his health. Like, that would be an annoying mechanic.
Especially if you did it more than once. Like, come on.
Yeah. But, I don't know, for me, I'm kind of mixed on it, because I need to see more of it. I need to see if you're able to increase the timer. We do know you can recharge the you can recharge the cooldown faster when you're out of transformation by just energy charging. We know that for a fact now, thanks to shout out the Modding Corner for confirming that for us, who's at the demo. But you're able to lower the cooldowns by just energy charging, which I think, sure, that works. That's fine for PvE. PvP might not be so easy to do that unless the enemy's like key broken and whatnot, but...
Yeah, it takes a while. Even though it is charging, it does take a long time. It really doesn't seem like something you'd be able to do in the middle of a fight. Where the opponent isn't focused on you. It seems like something that it would only be able to be done with multiple people to like cover for you not being around. Because when he was doing it under the, he was hiding behind a rock or something, or somebody else was fighting Broly for him. It was so slow. It took probably 30-40 seconds to charge up fully.
Yeah, well, in fairness, they did. Modding Corner did specify that they were using specifically energy charge, which in Xenoverse 2, for those who are not aware, is the weakest charge in the game. So, very likely, stronger charges are going to make that cooldown possibly just negligent.
Which I hope not, because again, that would defeat the purpose of balancing it in the first place.
It also kind of defeats the purpose of making it cooldown time. But at the same time, if people want to be in the transformation anyway, then I don't know. It's a very tough line to pass.
Making a game is very difficult, guys. Making a game is very, very difficult. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, a lot of things that needs to be thought about. Cool factor, though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because my last thought about it is, I am okay with the timer. I am okay with the timer, but I would have really liked the transformation, at least appearance-wise, to stay. I don't need the stats to stay. I just want the transformation to still be there. I feel like if we're gonna compromise on this with Bandai, I think I want them to let me be able to stay in Super Saiyan, but just not have the benefits. I feel like a lot of people could just be like, okay, well, I guess that we can compromise on that. If you have to put a timer on, can we at least stay looking like a Super Saiyan and we don't have to have the buff? I just think that's my 2 cents on that. If I had to wish.
I was in a Discord with a couple of people who play Xenoverse a lot, and I asked this question: would you rather option A, you get permanent transformations, but the buffs you get upon transformation are negligible, or B, they're time limited, but the buffs are much more impactful towards the gameplay?
What were the thoughts on that?
I'd have to go back and double check, but one of them was.
So you proposed the question.
Well, yeah, I was proposing it.
The answer.
They did answer it. I was proposing it to you because I thought you were gonna say something.
I already did. That was my. Oh no! I already proposed. Yeah, that's my. Well, I would rather it have a time limit and do like a lot like that. I said I was okay with a time limit. That's my stance on it.
Okay.
But go ahead and read your things that they were talking about.
One of them was saying that it's clear that Bandai was going for a more option B approach where the transformations are time limited and they allow you to power up. A lot of people also seem mixed on it. Some people were saying option B because they see it as a last resort. Actually, yeah, most of them were saying option B, but maybe it could also be that it was like a first impression thing that they were seeing it and maybe they just got along with it. But I don't know.
Here's another thing about it.
I've seen many people on social media be hard against time transformations in general, so it's already.
Most of those people
mixed.
are just whiners. That's just one thing that a lot of people don't have to like. They don't have to realize. Half of those people, I will guarantee you, are the same people that clowned on Sparking Zero and were talking all this shit and were like saying it's the worst game of ever or whatever, and they probably never played it. They probably never touched the game. Or they did touch it and they were like, oh yeah, well this one thing bothered me, and then they tried everything they could to make sure that nobody else enjoyed it just because they didn't like one thing about it. And that just really seems like what we're seeing here with Xenoverse 2. These people are like, okay, I didn't like one thing, even though I haven't played it. I want everybody, yes, I was...
Because when I see people talking about like, okay, what is the reason? What is the defense for time transformations? Or then it's like, okay, yeah, it's for gameplay reasons, for balancing. But then the defense for no timers on transformations is just mainly because people want to be a Super Saiyan, and that's completely understandable. They want to have that look. I was messing around in photo mode the other day, just like taking pictures of my CAC in transformation. And I'm just thinking, man, is this going to be the same thing in 3? Because like they're going to be time limited, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I'm not sure if it's going to be
the RP factor isn't going to be as much.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to roleplay as hard.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to say all of what I was trying to say, but because I got cut off, my bad. But they're just fear mongering. So like a lot of like what you just said was that the majority of the people who've actually played Xenoverse in the Xenoverse Discord that you were in, that have played the game, like the franchise, have all this stuff, they say that
they're open-minded to it.
Exactly.
Most of what I see is that they're open-minded to the idea.
Yeah,
we just need
like,
more.
Oh, this is the worst thing ever. Because I was in the YouTube chat, and they were like saying shit like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna stop wishlisting this game. Like this is a massive L. I'm not gonna support the franchise. I'm not gonna do this, that, whatever. Bandai just lost a customer. All this shit. Like, bro, it's a game. It's not that serious, bro. You need to calm down there, buddy." But that's just it. Like half of this negativity, like when the game actually comes out, if they do timers and all that, yeah, we're gonna be sad, but we'll get over it. Like
there's going to be cheats and or methods to get around the timer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's always gonna be there's always gonna be something that's gonna allow us to get by certain things. Like I'm fully expecting a game mode in Xenoverse 2 because we're gonna get custom battles, not even just like PvE related. I'm talking PvP where you can like in the training mode where you can make golden last forever or the Chaozu thing go back forever. Like you're gonna have options to make it so you can just like if you want to be a Super Saiyan, okay, load up with your friends. Go play Super Saiyan.
I do hope that they give those options, and I do hope that they bring the return of photo mode. I love going in photo mode. I think photo mode is one of the more underrated aspects. I see not many people talk about, but I just love role playing in there. But
agree. The
anyways,
Photomon's great.
continuing on with the transformations, because this could also mean cast characters. We have yet to see any cast characters outside of Soul Switch.
That's another thing that they talked
Transform.
about in the live stream. They talked about that in the live stream. We are confirmed to get cast characters. That is something that we are getting.
I'm curious to see if the cast character, because no way they would put a timer on Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan, surely, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That
They
that
might.
one is a bit up in the air, because if they do, then that's not going to feel too great.
How so?
I don't know, because it's Goku, you know? And when you're thinking of like, all right, I'm going to play so I can go Super Saiyan, I can go Blue, I can go God, or maybe they just let you play as Super Saiyan God immediately, and that's just the character. If that's the case, then sure. If they start if they are starting as their transformation that you want to play as, then sure. But I feel like if people like are playing as the character and then they transform as the character and then they lose the transformation, that kind of ruins the immersion a bit.
I can see that.
Especially if they are role playing or if they are in like a parallel quest and they're like deeply locked in like a Hypernora moment, and then they just like, oh no, my Goku de-transformed out of Super Saiyan out of nowhere. Like, I can very much see that it's most of people's arguments against it would just be it's immersion breaking.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I actually agree with I forget who said it, but somebody was like, it could just be one of those things where it just drains your ki, you know, and if you run out of ki, then you go all out. But the ki could be something that you could just charge over and over again, like we were talking about Super Saiyan Blue earlier. Like I try not to use it as much because it drains my ki, but it's worth it. And if I ever want to, like, if I'm doing like an RP for something, I'm gonna have to keep charging to stay in it, but at least I'm still in it, you know. Like I don't just get kicked out of it after a certain amount of time. Like if I want to stay in it, I just transform and then keep charging. It's just I think I could be okay with something like that, where they switch the energy charge and make it so it charges your ki or something, and then they make the transformations based off of that.
I think for a lot of the hardcore players who, you know, are open-minded about it, it'll take a lot of getting used to when it comes to time transformations. And personally, I hope they don't do time transformations for cast characters for the exact reasoning I just gave. Keep that to CACs and I could be fine with it. If they do it for both, then I don't know. I probably would be against having it for cast characters.
See, the thing is, I don't see why they wouldn't. If they're gonna have it for one, I don't agree that they shouldn't have it for one or the other. Because
I think they could like make the cast character transformations just weaker. They don't have to make them as strong as the CAC. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, or maybe I just haven't given enough thought. But if they want to do that, then they could.
It's just tricky for me because like you're going back and forth now. Like you said, you were okay with the timers and having a big difference.
For
but then
CAC,
for the characters specifically, you're picking option A, right?
But exactly, because that's tricky. Because this is our custom created character we're talking about, and then we have Goku on the left hand side.
I almost would say the opposite. I would rather have my CAC. If we're gonna have one or the other have permanent transformations, why not? I wouldn't just pick one or the other. I won't want both of them to have permanent transformations. At that point, I would be like, okay, yeah, I want both of them to have like permanent Super Saiyan, but it's only a 5% buff as opposed to the confirmed, which I did the math. Super Saiyan is a 30% buff to rush attacks or whatever damage it was. I did the math, so it's actually even bigger than it is in Xenoverse 1. But that's another thing. I think I disagree completely. If they're gonna do time transformations, I would have to see it on both. I can't play Goku and then have my CAC have a time version of the same transformation, and then that version just be so much infinitely stronger. Like I want to be able to feel like if I'm playing, let's say we're doing a Namek Saga mission, right? And both me and Goku go Super Saiyan, but his transformation, it lasts forever, but it only does a 5% increase. He's there in the mission with me. This is his story, but his transformation doesn't do jack shit. Mine does. Does that not like feel wrong to you?
I guess in a sort of way, but I guess it could just be I just don't have a proper opinion on it yet. Because again, I don't have a good grasp on how this feels yet. I haven't played the game for myself.
Yeah, we haven't played it.
I haven't even seen how the cast characters are gonna work. They might work in a completely different way than what I'm thinking than they do in Xenoverse 2. But I am not sure, because, I mean, it's just a tough topic for me to answer right now without having like concrete info besides just, what we have on hand. Because
it's going to be a topic that they're going to it's going to be a topic that they're going to be like back and forth on it. Because like
I am very much open-minded to it, but I'm still mixed on it because I still like that aspect of Xenoverse 2 where I can transform at the beginning of the quest, not worry about it, and then I can roleplay and do whatever I want, and I'll fulfill my own little power fantasy of.
I think now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm open-minded to it, but I don't see why they had to get rid of it. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little because again, we did the math. The buff that you get from transforming is huge. It's a much bigger buff. It's 30%. Regular Super Saiyan is 10 to 15. Like that's 3 times the difference, right? But I don't know if that constitutes that much of a timer, right? I don't know. Like if they drop the buff down, I feel like I don't know this time transformation thing. It's a conundrum because like I get where both sides are on it, and I'm open-minded to both things, but it's just like it's tricky, because I don't like I would need the developers to explain right why there's a timer, because I feel like that's really the main issue here is we don't know why it is here. It's something that we're not comfortable with, and they're kind of just giving it to us without us like talking about it. Like they didn't talk about it in the live stream. I would want them to, like, if they're dead set on timers, right? I would want them to explain their reasoning, or just like sort of go into the numbers and be like, okay, well we had to put a timer on these kind of things because of such and such, because of A and B or whatever. Because for right now, it's just like nothing in Xenoverse 2 needed a timer, and if it ever did, they just nerfed it in a way like we talked about. Okay, this one drains your ki, this one drains your stamina, this does this is that, this has like Beast gives you a lot of damage, but then it makes you take a lot of damage. They just did stuff like that. There was never any a timer situation. This is all new for us, so we're just kind of reacting.
I do have a feeling that the answer they would give to that would be something along the lines of, oh, we're going for a more of a comeback approach when it comes to your transformations along with Soul Switch, and that's why they did that. I feel like I was gonna say I feel like Xenoverse 2 handled it perfectly. As close to perfect as you could get. Maybe just make the buffs better and make the restrictions like I don't know.
Because for me, I actually think I agree on this. I think that they were intending Awakenings to replace Limit Burst, replace like standard evasives and all that. Because another fucking thing, I don't understand why they got rid of evasives. I mean, I get it because evasives are annoying, but just like it feels like you have to equip them, right? Like we saw it in the trailer. Yeah. You only get 4 skills. You don't get the 7 that we're used to. The 4 super attacks, 2 ultimates, 1 evasive that we're used to. We're locked to only 4 things now, so we have less to work with, and one of them has to be either energy charge or what's it called, evasive. So we don't have a whole lot of defensive options. So I feel like that the reason that they made Awakening give health in the first place was because of that caveat. But at the same time, I have a feeling that the reason that they gave it a timer in the first place is because it gives health. To me, like, and then we talked about it at length on all different podcasts when we saw any of this stuff. When we first saw in the gameplay footage that it gave health, I was like crazy over it because I was like, any game that gives you more health, ki or stamina, or any sort of resource over the other player, that's just broken. Like it doesn't matter. That's just like if I start off with 60,000 HP and you start off with 60,000 HP and we both get knocked down to 30, but only one of us can go back up to 60. How is that fair? So I get if they had to put a timer, it's probably because of the health thing. And if they're going to put a health thing, it's probably because they made a little bit of restrictions on the skill pool in general to let you be more, say, proactive of what you're doing.
Maybe another reasoning could be, too, the reason why they are making it so that increases your health is because they're making the bosses a lot more trickier this time around for the average player. So by giving you that like way out, so that way you can just like regen your health, because like they haven't even shown items like energy capsules and whatnot to slowly regen your health, like in Xenoverse 2. Is like those are not yet confirmed in the game. If those aren't in the game and your only way of regaining your health back is by transforming, then yeah, absolutely, I want to be able to transform, and that way I can, have a way to actually come back. But besides that, I'm not sure. Again, I'm a lot of what I've been saying has just been I'm not sure, but I'm just seriously not sure.
That's it. That's all. We don't have a whole lot of information. We are literally just spitballing here. Like we're just making shit up.
A lot of people have been saying they want a mastery system, which I would be not against if there was, because I do feel like having it make it so you feel weaker when you're earlier level compared to like later in the game when you're stronger. Like that's a good sense of progression. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I think it would be a neat way to do it.
Yeah, it's something to distract you from the fact that you do have a timer.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all.
It's tricky. It's tricky. And that's just the
I think that's all I have
thing.
to say. Just like I'm
about that, yeah.
I'm 50-50 on it right now. I could see the reasoning for it, and I could see it being more engaging of a mechanic, like mechanically speaking, because then you'll have to actually keep track of when you're able to transform every match, and then you'll have to transform at the right time and whatnot. But at the same time, I wish I was impermanent so I could just fulfill my power fantasy.
Yeah, I mean,
and I especially need to see how it's going to work for past characters.
I agree that I would go back and forth on it, and I feel like for me, just the same thing. I just want it to be fair. If anything, it just needs to be fair. So, however they do it, or however they're going about it, as long as it doesn't make the game just a Saiyan fest, and we could still have variety in our game, I'm okay with that.
I do think that we're still going to be seeing majority of Saiyans, no matter what, because Saiyans will always have more transformations, no matter what, even if they are limiting them.
Yeah, I just want it to be fair, or not even just super fair, but just like, I don't know. Like I just want everybody to be able to play what they want to play, and it still be kind of like usable. I don't want people to only pick hit. Like we talked about that, right? Where the whole cooldown thing is cool and all, but with the soul change mechanic being a thing, where regular transformations like Super Saiyan, as far as we know, doesn't make it so you can have less cooldowns. That's a soul change exclusive thing. And I was talking about how I'm worried how there's going to be one specific character that's going to be better than the rest of the cast. I'm using Hit as an example. Like, let's say one of his moves is just really good, and if by using the soul change, you can have a faster cooldown on that move, people are probably going to play that character as a cast character, and then or they're going to pick their CAC and only make a build specifically around that one character, and then we have to deal with such and such character for 6 years because they're broken with that soul change.
Well, we know when you soul change, it changes your entire moveset to what the character uses, so...
Mm-hmm. So we don't have a whole lot to worry about the pre-stage, but I'm just like... So, like, let's say what you were saying about the transformation thing, why would I pick a cast character, when they have a permanent transformation, for sure, but then their buff is only 5%, when I could just soul change into them, have a 30% buff, and my cooldowns are faster, And that's not even just like an emergent thing, that's just a me playing the character thing. It just seems kind of off, where it's weird. It's weird. I'm trying to describe it, but
it does just seem like I don't want to say a lose-lose situation, because if they give
but it feels like it.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Because if they give cast characters permanent transformations, then people are going to say, well, why doesn't CAC have permanent transformations? If they don't, then it's, I can't stay in permanent transformation with Goku.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I feel like they have to, if they're going to do transformations for one, it has to be for the other too. They can't both win, they have to both lose, that kind of thing. It would just feel better for me as someone who plays both cast and CACs in Xenoverse 2 game.
They have to. They do have to do quite a lot. I feel like maybe not a lot, but they do have to sort of win back that part of the fan base now that they are going through with this. But only time will tell how far they truly go with this or how devastating it's really going to be. But yeah, I guess that's all we gotta say about time transformations for now until we get more info. No, obviously it was easily the most extensive thing.
It's the most thing that it's the biggest thing that we got out of the 3 things that we received, because to be honest, as much as I don't want to shit on developers or anything, people just doing their job, that was a nothing burger of a live stream. We literally got nothing. Like, yeah. I hate to admit it. I actually want to talk about this real quick, but 1 for 1, it sucks that the live stream was nothing, but I'm so happy that we got it, because if we can get developers that are playing our game, experiencing what we're experiencing, and open to communicating about it, that's a win to me. If we can get live streams for live service updates, DLCs, them actually like playing the game and not just being like, oh, okay, yeah, I totally know what I'm talking about just because I made it. These guys being active in the community is so much better to me, even if they don't talk about anything and it's just like them talking. I would rather that than no communication at all. Like, now, that's all how I feel about that.
Now, yeah, good thing you do mention that, because apparently there is a survey going around at the Xenoverse 3 World Tour over in DreamCon where people are getting surveys to respond towards the gameplay and whatnot. And I'm glad. I hope they take some of the stuff in mind. We'll see what they do with it. For example, going back to what Modding Corner wrote, they just mainly mentioned a HUD/UI change and a legacy playstyle for people who play the Xenoverse 2 controls, since the Xenoverse 3 controls are different, so not everyone's going to be used to it. And you can definitely tell by some of the people who were playing the demo yesterday for the first time, like, it was not the same. Like, apparently Step Vanish is on like L3. I forget what button that is on PlayStation. I think it is
L3 is the stick. I'm not a big fan of that. So basically you would have to click.
I'm sorry, not L3. L1 is vanishing.
L1 is well, it's L2 in the game, so that's not that big of a difference. I'm okay with that.
But yeah, you get the idea.
Stuff like that, yeah, a little stuff like that.
As long as they are receptive to the feedback and they do take it into account, we could still be seeing something good. Because as far as everything else goes, like taking time transformations aside, I'd say everything else looks fine. It looks good, actually.
Yeah, so far, yeah. I mean, we didn't even get to talk about the rest of it. We got so heated on this. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that they did show that, and they did tease about, like the customization, that they confirmed that was going to be a big part of it. I mean, we talked about this looking at the Modding Corner's gameplay as well. And Rhyme talked about it too. But pretty much every single one of the CACs, not the CACs, but the people in Kanton City, or not in Kanton City, in New City. Yeah, it's New City, and all the people in New City are most likely going to be able to be made, because it was like that in Xenoverse 1 and 2. So we're going to get our body types for sure. We're going to get our new hairstyles. That's already something that we're looking at, and we still haven't seen any bio androids or Kaioshin.
They have not confirmed any new races, but
they haven't confirmed any new races.
We are
but they did
still
talk about that. That's something they were considering.
We are still hopeful that they will announce it sometime. We should be getting a V jump sometime soon. Actually, who knows? It might just be the day after I post this video. Knowing my luck.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about that. The last V jump came about middle of the month anyway. So after this live stream, we should be expecting. And after getting all of the gameplay out of the way, the next thing that they would have to do for a V-Jump, in my opinion, is customization.
Either customization or PvP. Those are the two things.
Or PvP, yes.
Because I did see
a new mechanic for a different kind of boss, something like that.
One of the friends of mine who was planning on getting the game did say that they weren't too high on the PvE, but the PvP they actually did like towards the end of the trailer. So I am hopeful that the PvP aspect of the game does feel good at the end of the day. But only time will tell, like I said.
Interesting, yeah. It looked interesting, so we'll see.
And who knows, maybe the limiting of like evasive skills will force people to be more careful about what they're bringing.
Yeah, I mean, because
Combat is gonna
you
be
probably
different.
would. Yeah, I mean, we might run into the situation where somebody's gonna run 4 evasives and just throw hands and then just have the evasives on there. I feel like that's something that's probably gonna end up happening. I don't know if they're gonna make it so that you can only have 1 evasive. That's what I would do. Is I would lock it to 1 charge, 1 animation, and then however many attacks you could have 4 attacks.
I was
but
gonna
only
say
one.
it's very possible that they restrict the amount of skill types you can have on a character. Like, oh, you
I
can
feel
only
like that
one.
makes sense.
You can only run one guard break or key break skill. You can run 2 key blast skills, like normal key blast skills and what's not, and so on and so forth.
I feel like that would make sense.
I think that is a fair thing to do to prevent people from doing that cheese.
Yeah, doing the cheese running 4 evasives. That I feel like that's something that they probably thought about, and I hope that they thought about. I'm saying this now. We get a thing tomorrow. Somebody played a demo, the PvP demo, and somebody's fucking running 5 evasives. Like, I don't know, man.
Knowing Bandai, they did not think of that, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, they probably did. They probably did. We're gonna have to deal with the great evasive meta. I'm calling it now.
The great evasive meta.
Evasive meta, dude. It's gonna happen. Anyway, I mean, besides that, we did see a little bit of PvP gameplay in the gameplay trailer, the 6-minute gameplay trailer. Besides
brief.
that, I mean, it was very brief. It seems that they're working on it more than the PvE. They're workshopping it, which is very good. I want them to focus on it because it's something a lot of people are looking forward to. I personally don't think, like, I feel like we talked about this, but Xenoverse 2, at least to me, the casual player, I don't think PvP is as big of a focus on the game as much as the story or the whole, what's it called, RPG-esque of the game. I feel like PvP is definitely like more of the secondary thing. But I understand why people look forward to it.
Whenever I played Xenoverse 2, I was of the same opinion. I rarely, if ever, went into PvP, mainly for friend battles. That was the extent of the PvP I did. Was just like, okay, just friendly 1v1s between IRLs, and outside of that, that's basically it. I was very much mostly a PvE type of guy.
But I think
there's just
the
so
game
much
in general
to do in terms of PvE.
The focus of the game is, in my opinion, and I feel like this is just not even a hot take, is PvP. Or not PvP, PvE. Like, the game, you're meant to go through the story, you're meant to do all these side quests, you're meant to do all this stuff, you're meant to do all the missions, and the PvP is just kind of an added bonus. So, but it's a fun added bonus, so I get why people are so excited about it,
right.
You know?
Right, obviously it would suck if you couldn't fight your friends online.
Yes. I agree. And it would also suck if it was just bad. Like, I hope they do work on it and make it as good as it should be.
I mean, what's a Dragon Ball game when you can't fight your friends, right, Breakers?
That was low.
I'm sorry.
That was low.
I'm sorry.
Apologize to Breakers. I mean, technically, you get to fight your friends if you're the raid boss and they're the. I mean, technically.
I'm sorry. I could have said something else. All right. Anyways.
You just attack Breakers for no reason. Cool. I love that game. As a Breakers fan, what are your thoughts on them bringing back Breakers, but as a little side thing inside of Xenoverse 3?
I think that would make not the game active, but definitely it would be a good bonus, and it would also make people feel scammed of the $20 they may or may not have spent on Breakers.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
But let us know what you guys think down in the comments below.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to most besides customization and the plethora of different skills, transformations, hundreds of skills we're going to get in this game?
Let us know what you think of time transformations. Is it?
Don't let us know what you think.
No, I need the reception. Good or bad works.
They're gonna fight in the comments, bro, and it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be fighting them.
Good. I will be in the comments. Please fight in the No, I'm kidding.
Fight in the comments, bro. It's that thing of let's go fight somewhere empty, and then they try to fight in the Xenoverse 3.
Let's go fight somewhere empty. It's just a picture of my YouTube channel.
Yes, bro. No. Well, I was saying the opposite would be any Twitter discussion about time transformation is going to be active as fuck right now. Those are all going to have so many people in there just yelling at each other.
Oh my god. Yeah, but anyways, is there any last things that we're forgetting about that we didn't mention?
I mean, I talked about what I wanted to about them being receptive to the fans and actually like communicating. I'm very hyped about that. Besides that, you know, the CAC confirmed customization of, well, not confirmed, but heavily implied customization option of body types. Very cool. They talked about in the interview that it wasn't going to affect their stats. It's just going to be something that you get to do. So there's just more freedom there. Good for you. Good for us on that. We know the confirmed races, Majin, Frieza race, Saiyan, and Earthling. We're still waiting on confirmation on the other two, but it's more than likely that we're going to get them. And then last but not least is the gameplay we saw. They confirmed a lot of things from YouTubers playing out, that there's no stamina breaks. Not as much... Oh, actually, no. What was I going with this?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
I don't know. Anyway, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts? I forgot. Extra gore, bro.
I said just about everything. I mean, I'm hopeful. I am cautious. Well, no. You know what? I'm not even cautiously. I am optimistic. We are positive in here, gang. Time transformations are gonna be negligent, and we're not gonna even have to care about that. You know why? Because we're gonna be too goated. All right, John, 60 seconds? Nah, get that out of here. We're still John 1000 in this. Anyways.
I agree. John 60 seconds, bro. Well, John 61 seconds. It's 61 seconds.
Yeah. John 61
Put that in the thumbnail.
No.
Put that in. That's the title. John 61 seconds. All right. I think that's it. We're good.
All right. But I think that's all. So once again, let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.